Yo, what's up? Tacoma Comics, and we are here live. We got a haul today. Hit Half Price Books and realized that my boy's been working there busy. Bought a whole bunch of books, looking to upgrade and complete my X-Men collection. And let me tell you something: it's never that bright out in winter. It's usually, and I'm usually over there. This is just like a new orientation in this room for me. Um, so I got to figure that out. I might have to get a room window cover or something. So if that's really bothering you, sorry, not much I'm going to do about it. So let's start off for the day. Chelsea won. Pub was packed this morning at 7 a.m. There was a Liverpool game, Arsenal game. If you don't know Doyle's in Tacoma. The owner is a Liverpool fan, so the big Liverpool following there. So it was really nice. A lot of people in the pub. Nice to see Saturday morning jumping off real big. Um, right after that, I went to Half Price and then Costco. No comics at Costco. And then about some smaller shops. It's supposed to be joined by Nola, but we just moved out here. He'll join me next time. Anyway, I'm going to show you the haul, but let me just make a comment on X-Men. Like, or no, it's not a comment on X-Men. It's a comment on collecting, right? Maybe y'all bear with me. Let me just pull a random, okay? I only mark my spot so I can put my random back because I do like in order. This is X-Men 330. Now, I don't know what you think. Maybe I cover that really bad window. Then you get the little light shining from the light above me. I wonder if I turn off that light, how it all works. Anyway, X-Men 330, right? Ain't nobody want this comic. 19, probably 92. Comics were $1.95 then. Who knows what the heck that means? Quest for the Crimson Dawn. Like, I don't know anything about this. Like, I don't think anybody knows anything about this. I think it's a nothing comic. It was $1 and half price. But here's the deal. I own X-Men 94 through 279, which is Claremont's run. Right, there's an advertisement for Biodome. So that tells you I was like a sophomore in college or something. What did I see? 92? Let's see. Yeah, it's one of those ones where the legend's all at the back or something. I don't even know. I can't even find it. Right? It's so bad that I can't even tell where like the information is on this. Let's just assume it's early 90s, right? And so every era has its comics. Everybody, oh, there we go. It's in the middle of 1996. All right. So actually, I was out of college. Um, every era has its comics, every era has its art. And like, hey, John, you like this all today. And every era just has like books that other eras look, these X-Men in the 330s, 340s, 350s, 360s, 370s, they're like the prequel, Star Wars prequels to me. I don't like them. I don't care about their existence. Except I'm a collector. And what I mean by that is, and I don't mean this pejoratively to anybody else, but what I mean when I say I'm a collector is I want to have certain comics not for their value, but because I want to have complete runs. Maybe you can call me completist, though I'm not trying to go for like all prints and all newsprint and newsstand and direct. I just want comics. So anyway, I own X-Men 94 to 279. That's Claremont. I own 280 to like 320. And then I own like most of 400 to 540. And the Uncanny X-Men run actually started getting really, really good in the 450s. A little bit before Fraction took over, but definitely when Fraction was writing it. The 500s, I mean, that comic was solid. You go read those issues, 450 to 540. Really great run. Not Claremont, but really great run. So there's a gap, about 320 to 400. I only wanted them so that there wouldn't be a gap. Maybe you know what I'm talking about, John. Maybe you know, maybe other people know. But I only wanted those comics so there wouldn't be a gap in my collection. I didn't want those comics because people are like, oh, there's some, undervalued keys, or oh, the artwork was great. Oh, the storylines are really integral. No, no, yes. And I have actually controlled myself, but they were a dollar each today. So I picked up an S ton of mid 300s X-Men comics. And I'm just glad I got them. So I got like such a large amount that I left half price with a short box. He's like, "Let me get a short box for you." I said, "Okay." And because I was buying so much, Jonathan was like, "Hey man, all those $2 comics I marked down to $1 comics." Yeah, and you absolutely should. Now the thing is, I haven't gone below 94. Perhaps and I've used the fact that I had this gap as an excuse. Now that I don't have this gap, I might have to start going after the expensive ones. So it never stops. It never stops. All right, but the most any of these were there were two that were like, oh well, 15. There was one that was 15, there was one that was 8, there were tons that were 5, tons that were 3, a few that were 2 that he marked down to 1, and then a whole bunch that were a dollar each. So without further ado, um, we have X-Men 147, this great cover where I think Rogue touched Storm and got her powers. That was the earliest that they had. 148, Jessica Drew on the cover, a little Spider Woman action. Yeah, I don't even have that many. I used to have a few, and then I sold them, and because I knew I was never going to get the full run. And I think we've talked about this before. I'm much rather have giant size X-Men 1 than I would have then I'd rather have X-Men number 1. I know it's not value, and I probably can't afford either right now, but so I really like this one. Uh, this is, believe it or not, this is Jean Grey and this is Storm. Uh, Not Jean Grey, White Queen, whatever her name is. They swapped brains because the White Queen had some sort of brain swapping machine or something, and Storm went to rescue Kitty from the Hellfire Club, their version of Xavier's mansion. And hey, what's up, Big O? And I just remember there was this is one of those comics I remember from when I was a kid. Really loved it. Hey, Fish Cat, good to see you, my friend. Haven't seen you in a while. And it was really cool because there's this thing where like Kitty had Storm bound and her arms were tied, and she's like, "How do I know you're Storm and not really the White Queen?" And she undoes the ropes, and she's like, "Does that prove it?" And she's like, "Aurora taught me those knots. Nobody's supposed to be able to break them." And so that proved to Kitty. It's this silly, goofy Claremont X-Men stuff that is near and dear to my heart, and I just absolutely love that. As well as like when Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde, Sprite, whatever, could not figure out what sort of costume to get, you know, she wore this one and looked absolutely goofy. This is like the X-Men not realizing that the 80s are about to hit and the 70s are gone. Plus, it's a Monty Python reference, so I could not be happier. Uh, yeah, it'd be great to have a first appearance of Magneto. It'd be great to have like first Havoc, first Juggernaut, first Polaris. A lot of those like, you know, first Sentinels probably would be what's up, Southern, the top of my list of like sub 94 comics to get. Like, I think I would love to have a first Sentinels. Um, so I didn't look. These all 154. These were all in great condition. Uh, and I knew that I had a list somewhere of like X-Men from my Claremont run that I'm trying to get better copies of because the copies I have aren't great. This is what like 155. This is just a dollar. So I did grab a whole bunch more. I grabbed a whole bunch more than I needed. Um, so I will flip most of these, but like 5 or 6 of these perfectly filled gaps that I needed to fill. So I was really happy by that. What's up, Nerdy Punk Rocker? Good to see you, my friend. 156, right? Yep. Another big book coming up in a minute. Here's 159. 160. check out this Dave Cockrum art, man. 162. Love that artwork. And look at this, 170. Right, I love this one. This is Storm has to battle Callisto for like leadership of the Morlocks. Just again, another great X-Men. 172. Grab another stack here. Love a good Brood cover, yeah. Love a good Adam Hughes cover too. 173. This is one of the ones. Actually, no, I didn't need this. I think I got a new 173 the other day, but this might even be better than the one I got, so I might be keeping this one. Is this Adam Hughes? I thought this is Adam Hughes. I can't tell, but it says, I don't know. It's a great cover either way, man. Really great cover either way. You know, I remember this one, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants hired Arcade to like figure out a way to kill the X-Men. And so that's really Mystique as Wolverine. And that's a fake like automaton kitty that she had killed. So I got really, not Hughes. Okay. Just a great cover then. I got really nervous when I saw this cover because this is only like the 10th X-Men that I owned back in the 80s. And I honestly thought that Wolverine had gone bad and killed Kitty. And I was upset. Like, I remember actually being upset at that. So anyway, these were like the first comics I saw today. And this was my jam. Like, this era of the X-Men was my jam. And I really loved it. 179. This is where Kitty has to marry Caliban. But then Caliban let Kitty go, I think. Or maybe that's when Storm became leader. I can't remember the quite storyline. But then Kitty gets all broody because the goddess woman that she loved is now turned this leather punk rocker that all of us boys loved. And so she was like, Storm's like, I've had it with you, you whiny little bitch. I'm a grown woman, and if I want to dress like a punk rock, I'm going to dress like a punk rock. Please cut it out. Okay. So there was a reckoning between Storm and Kitty, Aurora and Catherine. 182. As there always should be. 181. Why is that after 182? First appearance of Amico. Nice little Lockheed on the cover there with that big old dragon. Had to tune. Yeah, so Nola, a massive X-Men run at half price, all of which I had, some of which I was just updating, but I bought it all because I can't help myself. Throwdown Thursday cover, 183. Just got to love that Blob and Colossus. 185. 186. 187, another nice Brood cover. The Brood being the Alien before Marvel owned Alien. 188. Not over yet. Like I said, I got a short box of comics today. 192. Warlock is going a little crazy. 194. These are some nice newsstands too. And I had no idea that this was is this a Sienkiewicz cover? What does that say? I know he's gone through like 6 or 7 different signatures. I don't think this is Sienkiewicz cover. But anyway, I know that Nola loves this cover. Tell me whose signature that is, the top one there. Because I know that's not Sienkiewicz's style, but I can't read that. So anyway, Nola's commented on this before. Wolverine's like smoking a cigar and threatening the kid with the claws. Gotta love it. 196. Kitty Pryde says bad word. She's talking to Stevie, who's disappeared from the comics. She's like, how would you feel if somebody called you the N-word? That's how we felt when somebody called us muties. But, she uses the N-word. And, when she could have just said the N-word. But, it was 1988 or whatever. So they didn't know. I've actually got the Uncanny Run. Not Nola, Big O. I was just getting a few upgrades. Like, I've got this list of these are not in good condition. The ones that are crossed out as circles, I just replaced today. My 95 isn't that good. My 103 is not that good. Stuff like that. I think my 107 actually is good. It's signed by Claremont, so I should stop complaining. First appearance of Fenris, X-Men 200. It was by Sienkiewicz. Thank you, Joey Bags. I appreciate that's an insane Sienkiewicz cover. Then I did not know that. Was this first Marauders or Stonewall, Super Saber, and Crimson Commando? They have a name together. I forget what they're called. Were they early Marauders? I can't remember. Then this one, like, I hate that this is not a key, right? Because we've come to think of keys as like first time this happened. First time this happened. The reason this was a key is because Storm realized she couldn't kill a person in cold blood. And she had it out with Wolvie because she was so upset about the attack on the mansion that she wanted to murder this guy. But she couldn't do it. Like, that to me is a key. It's a key change in Aurora's character. There is a limit to the punk rock version of Storm. And to me, that's a huge key, even though it's not a first new set of boots or first, nail polished red. Sorry, I'm giving you my introspection into comics here. This is a really bad cover. 219, Havoc joins the X-Men. Here's a cool cover. 227. Now we're getting into like the dollar books, most of these. 229. And then just another great Brood cover. 232. Right? And now the Image guys get into it and they start putting it on sale twice a month, which spells the end of the Claremont run in the X-Men because they just wanted to pump out X-Men stories. 233, Mark Silvestri. But there's still some beauty in those X-Men comics. Look at that Wolverine cover as the Brood. 234. 235, Dazzler in that stupid blue t-shirt with the yellow star. I like white costume Dazzler. Later, Big O. Later, Big O. All right. First appearance of David Moreau in 236. And then another cover that I love, 250. All right. And this one is not 282, but it's close enough. It is 283 for $5. I'll take that. And then I got this one. I skipped a bunch of like the 270s and 280s, but it's not complete if you don't have this cover of Aurora. I mean, I can't call her Storm there, right? That's an Aurora cover. That's Will Sportasio saying, "Hey, pay me more, or I'm leaving to go form Image Comics because I can draw the out of a comic." Yes, nerdy, you do. Though it is a double-edged sword. I wasn't going to grab these at all, except they all had cards. So we had Xavier as Prey in the Executioner song. What one did we get here? Bishop and Wolverine as Hunters. So I just thought it was cool that I got that these cards were there. And then 296 was Jean Grey and Cyclops Prey. And then some nothings, but they were $1, so I got a whole bunch of them. 299. 303 might be a first something, I can't remember. 305. 311. I think this is the first appearance of Bishop's sister. Shard, and 315. Let me just move these down. And let's see what else we got. Oh no, the comics are falling. Okay. Oops, out of order. Keep that. 312 and 316. Okay. Now, if you were here in the beginning, I was talking about collecting as a disease that some of us may have. Like, I love Claremont X-Men. That's what I grew up with. That's my favorite thing in the world in terms of comic books. And I love some of the later Uncannies. Towards the end of the 400s and the 500s, it got really, really good again. It's really well written, updated and modern, but not like how can I put it? But just updated and modern and a really good read. It's pretty well acknowledged, because you don't see a lot of them, that the mid 300s were not a good time for comic books, for X-Men comic books. But I wanted to close this gap between like 320 and 400, because I have 94 to 320. I have most of 400 to 544. I need a 543, by the way, if anybody has one. So I was not going to get these, and you'll see like the artwork in these is like, it's like Gen 13. It's unrealistic. It's silly. It's overplaying the muscles. It's churned out quickly. There's a few decent ones in here, but these were all mainly $1 each, and that's all I ever wanted to pay for them. And I've waited this long to find them, so I could buy these at $1 each. So 322. Going to go a little bit faster here. 323. Vessel of Destruction. 324. Evil Natures. 326. If Sins Be Forgiven. Now, this one I've got a copy of. This is the first appearance, I think, of a Magneto clone. And this, I actually like the cover. It's so much different than like the bombastic that you'll see here in 329. 330. Right? And you know, I don't have a problem with like sexy covers. I just don't find this version of Psylocke sexy. Right? I find it laughable. I find it ridiculous. I find it really glad that I was not buying comics in like 2002. This one's not as bad. 331. 332. 333. Stop falling. 334. 335. 336. 337. And these are all direct. It's not like I found a rare newsstand later issue. Nope. 339s. I think I actually have 338, so I left that there. 341. 342. I mean, still continuing with this silliness of like, it's hard to tell what's going on. There's no flow to the cover. Everybody's just got like a muscle everywhere. Like your elbow is a really big muscle. Everybody's looking like, arr. That's the only look you're allowed to have is, arr. Arr. Even this one, in which in another era, this could look really nice. It looks silly. It looks silly. I don't even know what numbers I'm up. 352. This is not how Rogue looks. This is not Rogue. Whose face is that? That is not Rogue. It's Rogue's outfit and her white hair. That's not Rogue's face. Somebody put Rogue's face on that character. Like, and now there's some bad guy named Sauron. That's not the Sauron we know from Lord of the Rings. It's just some random Sauron. Showdown with Alpha Flight. Everybody's got the face. I know I'm knocking my favorite comic here, and I hope you know I'm tongue in cheek with this because I did buy the books, so clearly they're doing something right. Just you got to laugh a little bit, right? Nobody's smiling, or like the only expression is, which is a bit different than I admit. That barely looks like Rogue. 363. At long last, Professor X reunited with his team. If they can survive Cerebro. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. This is the last of the X-Men, 66. And now we're sort of starting to change our style a little bit. The covers aren't so hyperactive. There's a little bit more use of space and empty space in them. There's like focus on different things. Adam Kubert is now drawing some of them, like this one. So you're getting a little bit more going on. A little bit more refinement to the art, maybe is the word for it. I use another Adam Kubert. Look, they're not going anymore. Like there were like 30 issues in a row of right. And again, even like these are like a little bit better. Now I know there's people who are like 35. Hey, what's up, Legion of Comics? And they're like, you old fart. That was when I was reading the X-Men and I loved them, and you're an idiot. And I totally apologize to that person. That's a cool floating head cover. Like, I get it, man. Everybody has their X-Men, everybody has their Star Wars. And like, you know, for me, this is just silly, but you know, I absolutely don't begrudge other people. There you go. Nerdy punk rockers, like, those are mine. Yeah, no, I get it. And like I bought them, so clearly I'm not like too against them. Um, but yeah, so first appearance of X Babies, I grabbed that for $1. I already have that one. And that's okay, you know, nerdy punk rocker. That's totally cool. Um, you know, obviously the X-Men made it to 544. So it's not like nobody was buying them in the 300s or the 400s. This was a key. I can't remember why, but it was $1, so I got it. Then I like this Fall from Grace run in Daredevil. So I got the prologue, which is great artwork. I got chapter 1. I'm missing chapter 2, which drives me crazy. Chapter 3. And I guess I'm missing chapter 4. Oh, shoot. 322. Yeah, I'm missing two issues. 321 and 323, which also sort of drives me crazy. And then I like that. I like these covers. Got a random West Coast Avengers because it was 50 cents. Infinite Crisis 7 is a minor key, but I've got 5 and 6, which are bigger keys. So I figure I put them together to sell. I got this one because I collect all those homages to X-Men 134, where a character on the left side of the page is walking away. So I kind of dug that. You know, I'm collecting Spawn newsstands. So there's number 12. That's one that I missed. Oh, sorry. That was it for half price. Rest of these were a different store. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't fall. So I went down to Destiny City. I had to circle the block 3 times to find parking, which ticked me off. I couldn't even get parking in the parking lot of Doyle's, which is where I started 4 hours earlier. So I thought this is pretty cool. X-Men one for $2. I'll take that. 282 second printing for $9. I don't know if that's a ripoff or not, but I thought that was kind of cool. The covers are cheesy. In the 90s, everyone had muscles. Yeah. And then this was cool. I was pretty excited for this. I don't know much about Max, but I know it's hard to get these lower ones, and I got to press them because they're curled. They're not creased or anything, but I got 33, 34, and 35, and he gave these to me for like $2 each, and they're like $20 comics, which is pretty cool. Dark Force Rising, he gave me like a $2 price on. That's a newsstand. I don't think I have that one. And then got this for $18, and I think this was a steal of a deal. Empire Strikes Back, or sorry, Star Wars 39. So that was Destiny City Comics. After that, I made my way to Tricky's Pop Culture Emporium. 9 is fair for a nice 282 second. Okay. May keep it because I don't have a second print of that, and I know they didn't do a lot of second prints in comics back then. So I got this pack of Batman New 52 for $10, and the reason why I bought this pack was because Mr. Scott Snyder signed issue 17, so I thought that was pretty cool. At least I think Scott Snyder signed it. Could be somebody with a Sharpie just drew on it, but we'll assume that is Scott Snyder's signature. Let's see what else is in here. 18. So we got 17 and 18. 20. Ooh, got Snyder's signature on the first 0 year. This is pretty cool. Snyder and Capullo on New 52 Batman. 23. Got more Scott Snyder signatures. 24. Yes, some of the Max had really nice covers, but I don't really know much about them. I think this one is still polybagged. Is that what it is? Still polybagged. You're just really... Nope, it's just a really dirty bag. Really nice, clean 25. 0 year comic. So that was pretty cool for $10. 3 Scott Snyder signatures. Now, this other pack, the earliest book was 8. I don't think we're going to find an earlier issue than 8 in the pack, but let's see. There's 8. There's 9. So some nice Court of Owls stuff. Is that 10? Yep. So it looks like we got up through 16 with 1 or 2 missing. 11. No Scott Snyder signatures on these, though. 19. Oh, out of order. You're out of order. I love this cover. Always loved this cover. Let me show that better. And what's the last 2? 15 and 16. Yeah, I'm pretty happy, Apex. Thank you. So $20 for a decent run. No major keys. Some good covers, but people really like this run, especially since people really didn't like the Tom King run, except for me and a few others. Not a lot of people liked the Tom King run. How about we put it that way? Just don't fall. There we go. Alrighty then. Let's see how I rounded out the day. I went to one stop store that was supposed to be open at 12, and it wasn't. So I went to this other guy. They more sell like model trains and toys, and they sell just a whole bunch of like random stuff. A lot of like scary movie posters from the 70s and 80s and stuff, and books, and just tchotchkes and paraphernalia. They do have some comics out, and I talked to the guy. He's like, yeah, this is from my brother and my collection when we were kids, and really well kept. So I got these 2. And one of these I needed 98. 98, 99. These are Um, Without a clean and press, these are both 9s or better. With a clean and press, these would be up there in the 4-6 range. Just gorgeous, gorgeous copies. And even though I was only going to replace my 98, I'm going to go check to see. This might be better 99. Like I might have looked at my 99 and said that was good enough. So he had $90 on both of these, which I think is underpriced. I got the two of them for $150. So I am super stoked, super, super happy to add those to my collection. Really, really great pickups. Ecstatic for that, as a matter of fact. And then the last two books, I went to Lily Pad Antiques, new owner of the store. He hasn't put out anything new in the last 2 weeks, which is fine. You know, I don't want people to put out stuff unless they can't have it. But I just figured I would end this haul and send you all off with a DC special Merry Christmas. Which way am I going? That way. So I thought these are cool. This one's issue one's a wraparound cover, sort of a wraparound cover. I mean, they could be two totally different covers. Robin's cape drapes over to the other side, so it's a wraparound cover, but it's like a lot of great creators, a lot of reprints of stories of it's actually all reprints of stories from the 70s, 60s, and 80s that were Christmas like connected. So that's kind of actually pretty cool. I checked with my friend. Nice job, Apex. I checked with my friend at Poor Man's Comics, and I'm like, "Hey, do you have these?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course I do," because he has. If you follow Poor Man's Comics, and if you don't, you should. He has. He posts a Christmas book a day for the month of December, or a holiday book a day. And I'm wondering if this DC's Special 2 does the same thing. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it is a collection of stories or it looks like it's just one single story, whereas this one was a collection of stories. So, my friends, what am I going to do with my large collection of X-Men comics? I'll be bagging and boarding them, keeping the nice ones and the ones that I need, and I will be selling the rest of them on Stan's auction tonight at 5 p.m. my time, which is about an hour and a half from now, and 8 p.m. if you live on the East Coast. Poor Man Company to replace Cart Marvel. Yeah, not quite. It's all one word, a Poor Man's Comics, but very, very similar. All right. From John on down to Nola and everybody else who joined me, I thank you very much. I will catch you later. I got to go watch some Better Call Saul with the boy. Take care.